Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to Siyasat English News. I am Ayman Omar. AstraZeneca and Russia's Sputnik 5 are the only two vaccine manufacturers which have participated in a pre-bid meeting held by Telangana government for procuring 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Though the conference witnessed participation of a few trade representatives also. The pre-bid meeting was held on 26th of May. The last date to submit the quotation is 4th of June. Telangana recently issued a global e-tender notice for procuring 10 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine from manufacturers or their agents in case of imported jabs. The bidders can quote their offers to supply the vaccine in part also, provided that monthly supply shall not be less than 1.5 million and the total supply of 10 million doses shall be completed within 6 months from the issuance of letter of intent. Telangana on Thursday reported 3,614 new COVID-19 cases, taking the tally to over 5.67 lakh, while the death toll stood at 3,207 with 18 more casualties, a government bulletin have said. Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation accounted for the most number of cases with 504, followed by Nalgonda with 229 and Khammam with 228 cases. The state has 38,267 active cases and over 90,000 samples have been tested. Meanwhile, Telangana junior and senior resident doctors on Thursday said they were calling off their strike as some demands were addressed by the state government. The junior doctors boycotted duties on Wednesday and Thursday, demanding stipend hike and resolution of other issues. The Telangana State Board of Intermediate Education on Thursday announced the postponement of practical examinations for second-year intermediate students. The board has decided to postpone the practical exam in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. A review will be held in the first week of June. Syed Umar Jalil, Secretary of Board of Intermediate Education, said in a notice, "It is hereby informed to all the students, parents and principals of the junior colleges that considering the present prevailing pandemic situation and lockdown in the state, the practical examinations of intermediate for second-year general courses, first and second-year vocational courses, which were scheduled from 29th of May till 7th of June, are postponed until further orders." Hyderabad City Police Commissioner Anjani Kumar said on Thursday, nearly about 99% of Hyderabad's population are following the lockdown norms and only 1% of people are still violating the norms even after strict actions been taken. The City Police Commissioner today inspected various police checkposts across Hyderabad and also visited the Wesley College checkpost in Secunderabad, where police personnel were found wearing COVID-19 shaped helmets to spread awareness. He said that since morning at Wesley College checkpost alone, about 100 vehicles have been seized and nearly 7,000 to 8,000 cases are being booked in Hyderabad against people who are violating lockdown norms. Thanking all the police officers and the public who are following to the concept of lockdown, he said that compared to many other major cities, Hyderabad is still in a better place. Uttar Pradesh administration have again demolished another mosque in Katoli, Muzaffarnagar. Locals claim that the property belongs to Muslim Waqf Board and the police has demolished it without any reason. The incident was tweeted by journalist activist Arif Shah, who said that this is the second incident after Barabani Gharib Nawaz Masjid. About a week ago, the Uttar Pradesh government defied a state high court order and bulldozed a 100-year-old mosque in Ram Sanehi Ghat area of Barabanki district. The UP Sunni Waqf Board announced that it will soon approach the Allahabad High Court demanding restoration of the mosque. The Sunni Waqf Board also promised to demand a high-level judicial inquiry and action against the officers concerned. They are yet to respond to the latest demolition in Katoli, Muzaffarnagar. The state of Qatar on Wednesday pledged to provide $500 million for the reconstruction of Gaza. The Qatari Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani announced that Qatar pledged $500 million to rebuild the besieged Gaza Strip after a ceasefire that ended the worst fighting in years between Israel and the Palestinian armed groups in the coastal enclave. "We will continue to support our brothers in Palestine to reach a just and lasting solution by establishing their independent state," he said. Qatar often acts as a mediator between Israel and Hamas, the Palestinian group that has ruled Gaza since 2007. The Gulf state has contributed hundreds of millions of dollars in humanitarian and development aid to support the previous ceasefire. The German Senate has approved a controversial law banning public employees from wearing ideological or religious symbols on the job. This comes weeks after voters in Switzerland have supported a ban on burqa and niqab. The new legislation on dress and appearance allows state authorities to prohibit or restrict the wearing of tattoos, symbols, jewelry, or visible clothing related to religion regardless of belief, while public officials are at work or in service. But it was unclear whether the authorities could use this new legislation to impose a general ban on Muslim women's headscarf. German Muslim Association strongly criticized the move and said that the legislation was introduced in a hurry by the government without prior consultation with the country's religious communities. The power struggle continues in the Hyderabad Cricket Association, with its president Mohammad Azharuddin disapproving the appointment letters issued to appointees of various committees by the secretary R. Vijay Anand. On Wednesday morning, the secretary, along with the Apex members, had given the appointment letters at Gymkhana ground. The secretary added that the Cricket Advisory Committee will finalize the Men's Senior Selection Committee and Women's Selection Committee. Meanwhile, Hyderabad Cricket Association President Azharuddin clarified those who were given appointment letters stands invalid under the rules and regulations of the SCA. The former captain of the Indian cricket team said he will not be responsible as the president of SCA and member of the Apex Council for any of the benefits offered to you through the invalid letter. That's it for today. Thank you, viewers.